Welcome back to the 11th hour. COVID-19 is a stark reminder of how quickly plans can change and how difficult it can be to adapt to new realities. Suddenly, some of the marketing initiatives and business plan doesn't seem to work anymore. Used to work like a surefire success, but in the past, but now it's different. We're living in a time when many businesses will have to reconsider a brand reset to help re-engage with consumer and to continue to build relationships as this crisis contains. This may be ideal moment to hunker down and do many strategic work that not only leads to opportunities to innovate and connect and in a more relevant way, but a successful way that is sustainable no matter how the world changes. Hi, my name is Terence. I'm an international business coach, a trainer. I lead business organizations throughout Southeast Asia, working with an organization called Money and You to uplift business consciousness. Welcome to the 11th hour Breakthrough Conversations. Joining me today is Mr. Izam Yusof, a former CEO and turned business strategist with more than 30 years of experience working through numerous entities to transform their business. Welcome, Izam.
Hi, Terence.
Hi. When we talk about this business reset thing, like, is it necessary? What is your take on it at the moment?
Well, the thing is, what I got is when things happen, especially the situation that we are in now, we know that the market is changes because there are changes in consumer behavior and there are changes in the market environment. Reset is compulsory. It's necessary because when this two happens, how we do business now has to be relooked. So that's the most fundamental thing at the moment.
And you say when that two things shift, and like, okay, now the market has shifted. What do I do now to find out what has shifted?
Okay, once you look at the market, you look at of course the demand and supply. Look where the demand are coming. Key thing is when I mentioned earlier, when the consumer behavior changes, this is when you need to see whether the dynamics of your business in terms of meeting the demand is still there or not. So that's one thing you need to look on the outside, whether the business that you're carrying through still getting the demand for the supply that you're doing within into your business.
Yeah, for most people, like the demand will not be there because, like, okay, consumer behavior change. What I used to be able to do, people are not buying anymore. So what do I do then?
Well, one thing that I would do if I were to be in the spot is to look at these three things, the people, these are all internal, look at the processes and look at the structure of the business and how the business operate. So this would give an idea what kind of steps that can be taken. If you see from the chart behind to do more with less, that's very fundamental in taking the next step in really relooking at the market, relooking at the consumer behavior in terms of what can we do within our control to sustain the business.
Okay, you said looking at the market. What in the market do I look for? What are the
Well,
consumer behaviors that I want
well,
to?
the thing, there are distinctions where you got to see what are the assumptions in is like what's the new reality, what's the consumer behavior, are their buying pattern, are they buying now according to like what it used to be, or are you getting the supply as getting you used to be? Are the prices the same? And then are you meeting the deadline? Because things with the technology shift, with things are happening now, are you operating like before, or there are certain things that you need to do differently. So that's why resetting it is quite important in this instance. And maybe you have some assumptions at the beginning of the year in January that you said this is how your 2020 will be. So those need to be relooked. What I would do is I will park those assumptions aside, those things that I see I'm going to do in January for the 2020 period. I will relook at the whole scenario again and come out with what's my new reality in terms of my new normal, in terms of running the business moving forward, especially in the next 6 months when things are still volatile and a lot of unknown that you need to pick up along the way.
Yeah, there's so many things that's unknown. So what do I look at first? Because, like, business as usual is gone, so it's now business unusual. And like, whatever I think I know about the business is no longer valid. Then what do I do with this situation? You can say I look inside. Yes, it's the people. Now I kind of can look at the people. but I'm uncertain how I deal with the outside factors.
Well, Terence, come back to what meaningful result that you want.
Mhm.
Okay, it can be both external and internal. You got to assess the whole situation. It's not looking only external. You got to look both. So once you define what's the meaningful result that you want, and slowly you can take the steps what you need to do. If you look externally, you look at the market, you look at the consumer. That's one part of it. What kind of result that you want, and you and internally when you look into the process, structure, and then your people, and then what are the changes you need to make to able to meet the gap that you whatever that you want to do. So the intention is actually whether you can be effective and efficient in running the business in this new normal.
Okay, thank you. And that's why, like, if you have any questions for the people listening into this show, please ask in the and comment below or like this video so that we can know what other questions you have, so we can answer your questions. Because things have changed so much, and like we don't know how every one of you out there is actually going through the changes. So like if you have questions, so please bring it forward, comment below, ask below, so me and Izam can help you answer those questions. And like if you look at it, it's like Izam talking about efficiency. What is the one thing about efficiency that you want to impart today to the people that's watching the show?
Okay, for me, Terence, again, the fundamental is to do more with less. And now, when things have changes, there are a few things you want to look at. The most important immediately, like we talked about the 11th hour in the previous sessions, we talked about cash flow, we talked about the dynamics, how can we produce the similar thing, getting to the meaningful results, and then having a scaled down operation and still deliver the quality that we want. So this fundamentally look at the efficient and effectiveness, because maybe possibly in the past that we have done something, it become a routine in us delivering the result. So now it's time to relook and resetting everything and relook, is that what we want to do in the future? Are we getting the meaningful results? What are the changes we need to make in the three areas, the structure, the people, and the process, in order for us to do more with less in getting to where we want to go and start building up sustainable business as we move along. Yes, Terence.
Great, thank you. It sounds to me that it's like you're telling businesses to say that, okay, do whatever you need to do to remain relevant to the market today, to remain relevant to the changes, to remain relevant to add value. Is that what they're saying?
Well, I'm giving us some distinctions here, what works, and then the thing is to ask a lot of questions in the distinction that I've just passed on. It's not to take it and start working on it. Having the distinction, asking a lot of questions from various angles. We spoke about it before too. By asking a lot of questions, then you can see clearly on what are the things you need to do to move forward. So that's fundamental to getting to the meaningful result that you want.
Got it. And and at the end of today, it's like you don't have that much time to really look at every one of your businesses, but we do have a 2 hour Masters Business Builder program on 18th of July at 2:30 p.m. So that in that session, we can actually address all your concerns, and so that we can answer all your questions if possible. And we are looking at for business leaders to join our small and intimate coaching session. It's about 5-10 of us at a time, so we can actually talk to people, not like and have a discussion rather than just a one-way communication. I'm really looking for business owners that want to have a two-way communication. And in the 2 hour conversation, we'll talk about discovering a new reality. We'll talk about dissecting what works and what doesn't in your business right now, because that's very, very important. What's relevant and what's no longer relevant. And we're there to reinforce the business with 8 keys to survive, stabilize, and thrive during this crisis. And the last thing we want to do with you is to see how we can increase your performance with 5 pillars of productivity to pivot your business towards the right direction. So this is kind of like what we want to do on the weekend. So if you have any more questions, please comment below, ask Izam, ask myself, and see how we can support you during this thing. And before I go, any last words you want to leave with the audience about resetting their business?
Um, Ask a lot of questions and relook at your business, how you've been operating over the last 6 months. Now, after we are MCO is uplifted a bit, we are getting the business. There are more clarity in terms of what's happening in the market and in the environment. Be cautious as you take the next step, and always look at what's your assumptions and fundamentals in you taking the next step in terms of growing your business. So that's quite key. And also always have a watchful eye on your cash flow. That's from me, Terence.
Thank you so much. Thank you for listening in. Thank you for watching us today. And I'll see you on Saturday, if not in our next 11th hour session. Thank you.